Hello. I think I am visible. Hi, I am Nicole Wilbur. Welcome to this deep work type writing stream today on day 8 of NaNoWriMo. It's been a while since I've done a live stream, but I went to one the other day and it was so much fun, and I thought, why not do my own? So amazing. My plan for this is going to be basically to do really long writing sessions. I've been trying to learn about deep work recently and like flow state and things to help, I guess, expedite or help my own productivity. So my plan is to basically chat for a little bit and then to do a like 45-minute or so. Right, it's not really a writing sprint, but like session. I'm back. Hi, hey Meredith. Oh my God. Hi. Finishing up your workday, pop into a participant. That's awesome. Yay. My actual first thing I'm going to be doing today is actually a work thing, because I also didn't finish something that I wanted to finish before this stream. So I think the first 45 minutes I'm going to use is it as a session to really kind of, I guess, get into that work and get stuff done there. And then the second 45 minutes to work on my NaNoWriMo project. If you are there and you want to comment, say hi, let me know what you're working on. I would absolutely love to hear about it. Since we are a week into NaNoWriMo, it's great to hear if you're doing Nano or if you're not doing NaNoWriMo. And how it's been going for you. I have been finding it really, really good, surprisingly. And I am surprisingly also ahead of schedule, which I have never been in NaNoWriMo because I've never won NaNoWriMo. My word count right now is actually 21,000 words, which I think is pretty good. It's like a little bit above where you're supposed to be in this month. And I'm fairly, I guess, happy with it. So if you want to throw that in there, please do. While we kind of get ourselves settled, I'm going to chat a little bit about the parameters I'm setting for, I guess, myself for getting a lot of work done and being productive in this session. I was reading I guess the term deep work comes from Cal Newport, who I absolutely love. I read his book, How to Be a Straight A Student, and then used his tips all through university. And I also loved Digital Minimalism. I think that's an amazing book, and at least helped me with my decision to not get Instagram, which is something I am incredibly grateful for now. So he has a book called Deep Work. I haven't read it, but I read a summary recently, and there were some points that they covered that I thought might be interesting. Sorry if this is taking a while to get to the writing, but whatever. So one of the pieces of advice was to really set the parameters for your work session. So things like, will your phone be on or off? Will you let yourself check the internet? Will you have the internet on or off? Can you walk to the kitchen and get a snack? And how will you measure the success of a session? So for me, my plan is to turn my phone off, sadly, and then turn it back on when we get to sort of that break there. I will let myself check the internet for the first sprint, but also I'm doing a live stream, so like I kind of have to be on the internet. Although maybe you find this as well, and I'd love to hear your tips for like being able to get deep in your story and get into that flow state. The number one thing for me is turning off the Wi-Fi on my laptop. And even though like it's only 2 extra clicks for me to turn the Wi-Fi back on when I come to like a brain break, somehow that 2 extra clicks of like, you're not supposed to be doing this, stops me and I don't break my session. So that is amazing. And I would love to hear your tips as well. I've heard sites a good idea. I haven't tried any, like self-control and freedom. I haven't tried any like blocking sites, but I think it might be a good idea. I'd be interested in hearing if anyone's tried those. And then one thing I really wanted to do for this afternoon was set a goal for each of these sessions, because it's like a 45-minute work session. Obviously, if you have to leave, do whatever you want, make it work for you, of course. But I will be here for the whole time. So, and measuring success is super important. So for my first little block of time here, I have 2 things on my to-do list. I have to do a little mini audit and create an epic product management Jira, yay, fun, and work on a presentation that I have on Thursday. But then in the second one, I think my goal is going to be to write about 1,000 words. So I have some rules for myself for this session. Be interested to hear if you ever come up with rules or things for your own writing sessions. And mine are, number 1, if you get stuck and need to go online to check something, just write like check or something and then leave it, resist the urge, and keep on writing. If I'm stuck on a description or a blocking in a scene, like sometimes I'll be trying to figure out what the room looks like and where the people are standing. If I'm stuck on it for more than 2 or 3 minutes, I say, okay, just write TK and move on. One of my favorite things, well, the Shonda Rhimes masterclass is so good. And one of the things that I really loved that she said was they would just write medical when it came to like the medical jargon on the show. They'd be like, I have to medical, stop the medical. And so I've started doing that with description, and I'll just be like, and write it in bold. And I think one of the things I will be doing either in December or January is literally control Fing description through my manuscript and working on those individually. And then my third rule for myself is it doesn't have to be perfect. The pacing doesn't have to be perfect in this scene. Get the events and the flow down. Because sometimes I will look at it and I'll be like, oh, like it's going too fast or it's going too slow or like there's a beat missing there. It's like, okay, you got the main events. Most of the words are there. Keep on going. So I think we are at, what is this, 4:38 here. My aim was to get started around 4:45, and so then we have that full 45 minutes to 5:30. So again, feel free to say hi if you want to, but there's no pressure. So in the last couple of minutes, I pre-drafted a couple of questions that we could chat about. And if nobody says anything, I will just indulgently answer myself. But I would be really interested in hearing what your answers are as well for these next like 5-ish minutes before we start doing the writing part. So I Googled good questions to ask authors, and I picked the ones I was most interested in. And so I tweaked this one a little bit, which is like, how did you come up with the title? But I loved asking how people come up with the name for their NaNoWriMo project, because a lot of people, they don't make the project title and the NaNoWriMo website the actual title of their book that they're planning on. And instead it's meant to be, it can be something fun. Like Kate Kavanaugh had her Project Blue for a while, or Project Death. Those are so fun. I call mine technically, I guess, is the title of my book. Well, at the moment, it's some kind of criminal. And that I think just came from, I wrote the sentence like in my very first draft. And then I said, hey, that's a good title. And so I ended up throwing it in and using it continuously. So we shall see. I don't know if it will stay all the way through the query process and stuff, but that is mine. I've had others. Project Musical comes to mind as an interesting one, where it was literally just, I wanted to write about people putting on a show, and the funny thing was it wasn't even a musical, it was a play. I think those things are super duper funny. All right, I think what we should do is get started with writing. I wanted to start at 4:45, but I think we're good to go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to hide that banner and I'm going to put this banner on. And StreamYard has a new feature where you can put on background music, which is incredibly interesting, that is non-copyrighted. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try the lo-fi. Although if anyone is like, this is the most annoying music I've ever heard in my life, please let me know and we'll turn it off. But I thought this would be a fun thing to try. So I'm going to press that button. That's lo-fi music. Ooh, hey! 100 words so far, so looking forward to a good writing session. Awesome. Welcome, Steve. Yay. This is so exciting. Yes. Okay. So I think our plan is then to get started with about 45 minutes here with this lo-fi music slamming. And let's see how we go. Happy work, whether it's writing or otherwise, to everybody. How do I there we go. All right, I'm gonna unmute myself for a second now. I know it's 5:25 technically and not 5:30, but it has been 45 minutes of the sprint, or not even a sprint, of this session. It's too long to be a sprint. It's more of a marathon. Okay, let's see what we have. So C told us working on a good writing session. If you are still here, let us know how it's going. And then we have Meredith. Meredith was back and ready to write, aiming for 1,200 words in the next hour. Woo! That is an awesome goal. Love that. I am hoping, I'd be interested in hearing if any of you have this problem, but I seem to underestimate the amount of words my scenes are going to take, or at least in this draft, because usually my scenes are fairly short, like 1,000, 1,500-ish words, but recently they've been more like 2,000, which is really off-putting my account at when I will actually finish this book, and B, it's annoying because I'm like, oh, I wrote 2,000 words, but I still have to finish this like one line on my outline. It's probably going to take another 600 words to finish it or something. So it's super annoying. Anyways, I just went off on a very long tangent there. Mr. Blandis, hello, can't say but good luck on the writing. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We have Curtis. Thanks for organizing. They got 460 words. Yeah, I will also be making dinner after this. It is completely insane. It is 5:30 and it is pitch black outside my house, and I still have to take Oscar for a walk. And it's very upsetting, isn't it, Oscar, to have to go in like the pitch black. Hi, Holly. Thank you for joining. What are you working on? Do you have a goal? We are going to do another like 45-ish minute writing session in a couple of minutes. We're just taking our little brain break here. Started writing around the top of the hour, 550 words. That's amazing. Woo, woo, woo. I haven't watched your vlog yet today, Meredith, but I have it as like my reward for while I'm making dinner to watch it for like, having a day and writing things. So really excited for that and to hear how it's been going. I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one who is bad at estimating the number of words a scene will be. Yeah, it's so bad. Not very good at it at all. So I don't want to, usually when I do these and I end up just like, oh, we have something from Holly. Hold on. I'm working on a Rivals to Lovers WLW romance. What's WLW romance? The end goal is 60K. That's awesome. That's so exciting. I've never heard the acronym before. You're welcome. I love your vlogs, especially during Nano. They're awesome. All right, so continue that conversation, but also because I'm trying to let these breaks be like a tiny bit longer to really get a sort of, conversation going things. So I looked up some questions ahead of time, and I'm very interested in hearing let me find something. Okay, I'm very interested in this question, because I've been reading a couple of books recently where not that I disliked the author at first and grew into liking them, but more that I liked them. And then after a while, I ended up not liking them. And I think it's interesting from like a writing perspective, how that ends up working. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, I would love to chat about it. I know we have some more comments here. Women loving women. I love it. Oh my God, yes. And 60K is usually where my first drafts end up when I'm writing romance too. Nice. Ooh, where did that go? There we go. Yeah, it's interesting. My first draft of Some Kind of Criminal was actually 70 or like 68,000 words. And as I'm writing draft 3, which makes a lot of sense, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a lot more not a lot more, but it's definitely going to be more than 70,000 words. I actually hit 50,000 words in the project, not in NaNoWriMo, today, which is super exciting. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm not at the midpoint yet. Oh, dear God. Oh, gosh, that's not good. I really hope that I'm not going to end up writing something that's 100,000 words again, just because the idea of having to write that many more words is stressful to me. But to be fair to myself, and I keep reminding myself this, these two acts here, like the middle, Act 2 and Act 3, which are in the middle of the book, they are the ones that I am redoing the most. And then the finale, if I could please get to the finale, like the Act 4 of this, then a lot of it is going to be, I will still retype all of it, but a lot of it will be like the same thing, which is exciting. Ooh, we have an answer to this question. I love it. R.S. Gray's one for me. She writes contemporary rom-coms, and the first several books I read from her I loved, but her recent releases have been disappointing for me. Ah, yeah. So maybe it's probably not. Maybe it's a contemporary rom-com thing, because the two people that I'm thinking of are Becky Albert's Hallie. I absolutely loved Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. I thought it was incredible. And then I liked Leah on the Offbeat less. I liked The Upside of Unrequited much less. And her latest one, which is Kate in Waiting, I literally hated. It was very hard to finish it. And I'm not sure if it's because it was YA, and maybe I'm just, that brand of YA is not for me anymore. And another one is Casey McQuiston, which I hope is not a continuous trend, but loved Red, White, Royal Blue. Really liked One Last Stop. Not loving the I Kissed Shara Wheeler. I put it down for some reason. I need to pick it back up, but just wasn't able to get into it. Ooh, we have Bromance Book Club. Number 1, the sequels have not pulled me in as much. Yeah, fair. Meredith agrees. Love the Bromance Club series. The first was the best, but I'm still enjoying all the rest so far. Ooh, I've never heard of this. Is it a romance series book type thing? I'd be really interested to hear about that, because I've never heard of them before. All right. Oh, I have one more question. I think we should start writing again in 2 minutes. But the one question I have is, did you like the music that was playing, or did you mute it or something? Because I quite liked it, but I know if it's on a loop, it gets repetitive. So I switched it around, and I don't know if that's distracting or if it's nice or anything like that. So do let me know before we get into it. Romance. Contemporary rom-com. Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. That sounds really cool, despite the fact that they don't get quite as good at the end. Kind of tuning out. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I find it odd to be on a live stream and then to be writing and then to not have music. So I might just put on my own lo-fi and go on mute again. And that I think might work best. Also, there's only 6 song options. I know this is a new feature on StreamYard, and I'm not sure if I love all of them. Okay, I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds just if anybody has any last comments before we start writing again. This time, I also am going to be actually writing and not working. I did finish the work thing that I had to get done, which is awesome. Now I can write again, which is so exciting. I've already written about 2,000-ish today. So my goal is to just finish the end of this beat scene situation and get started on the next one, which I think should be about 600 words or so. We will see. All right, we are at 5:35, and I think we're ready for another deep work mode here. So let me do this, and I'm gonna say show. Actually, I can make it scroll. That's fun. Let's make it scroll. It's scrolling. Okay. Whoop. I don't know if my dog is just next to me as well. That's Oscar. He's going to be in deep work mode with all of us too. Yeah. Hi, baby. Let's say hi. Hi. He's shy. He likes to cuddle. All right. Beautiful. So I am going to mute myself now and see you guys in about, what is that? 45 minutes-ish? All right. It is 6:15, which was, I think, what was that, like 35 minutes of writing. That was the last session of the stream. This guy wants to go for a walk, and it's time to get some dinner. But before we go away, I would love to hear how you all did. I got 886 words, which is good, very good. But the thing I'm more excited about is I finished the scene at, like, literally I timed it perfectly. I ended at 6:15. Maybe is it Murphy's Law that tasks expand to fit the time you give them or whatever. But yeah, that was really perfect. And I get to tick it off my outline and I'm very excited. Oh, I'm getting Pod over here to go out. Very, very excited to have finished that because that's another scene down. And then we're getting to the midpoint, and I love the midpoint. I'm really excited for the midpoint. Holly, I wrote a page and a half. Woohoo, that's amazing. And Meredith hit 2K for the day and did about 600 words. Wow, that's awesome. I love it when there's like words getting done and progress being made. It's amazing. I have no idea how many words I've written today, though, because I've been trying to do like a couple of sessions. I think a couple of people I've seen do this too, where like you try to do a session like in the morning and in the evening. Yeah, so I'm about 3K for today. Yesterday I wrote 200 words. So yeah. Okay, bye Meredith. Have fun. Enjoy your evening. That was great. I really appreciated that time I booked it in for myself just to honestly get through this scene. And it was a fun one to write. It's one that I've been building to. It's one of the bigger twists, and we're not even at the midpoint yet, which is so fun. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I would give that a NaNoWriMo big old smiley face for sorry, for how that felt and how that went. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes, see if anyone else wants to pop in their progress, tell us how they did. But otherwise, thank you all so much for joining this little live stream. I really found it productive, had a great time, and I hope you did as well. Yeah, thanks, Holly. You too. Have a good night. Everybody go enjoy your dinners, and I will see you later. And